Welcome, fellow Stardust. Are you ready for a scare? I see you've come back for more. If you're new here, buckle up. And thank you all for joining me today. My name is DeRay, lover of all things dark, creepy, and weird. Today's film review will be on mystery horror, The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Nasal passages, no sign of inflammation, no fluid, and no foreign substances. And ear canals are clear. Oh, I hadn't expected that.
Tongue has been
severed.
Taking place in Virginia, this is a tale of father and son coroners who unleash evil when conducting an autopsy on an unidentified woman. Austin is supposed to go to a movie with his girlfriend that night, but when Jane Doe's body arrives, he decides to stay and help his father, promising to meet up later. We've got Brian Cox playing the father and Emile Hirsch as the son. I was surprised to see that they used an actor for Jane Doe the entire time, and she's played by Olwen Kelly. And this review is a subscriber request from one of my subscribers, MJ Scheller. If you have a film that you'd like me to review, go ahead and subscribe and put it in the comments section. I'll be doing subscriber requests once a month. And to all three of my subscriber requesters so far, thank you all so much for your support. I really enjoyed this one. From the start, I was really intrigued. The opening shot is a bit disorienting, but it's a really cool effect and it makes me more excited about the cinematography. I'll be giving out some light spoilers, and then towards the end I will be giving away the ending, but I'll go ahead and give you forewarning in case you want to click out. This film really goes ahead and jumps right into the body gore. After we see this bloody crime scene, we're thrown right into an autopsy of a burn victim. Now, of course, we're expecting to see an autopsy, but not so soon and with such a mangled body. And we're seeing it accompanied by some pretty rocking music and a son and father who are just having a lighthearted, fun time with it. Not too different from how two people would be working on a car. You can tell Tommy, the father, really enjoys his work. The film was shot in London in March of 2015. The director, Øvredal, saw the film The Conjuring and was inspired to make a horror film. So he asked his agent to find a horror film script, and a month later, this was presented to him. Andre was interested in this dynamic between father and son, and he also liked this idea of something looking pretty and fine on the outside, but not so much on the inside. This is Andre's first English-speaking film. He's well known for his 2010 film Troll Hunters. It looks like a fun one. The writers Ian Goldberg and Richard Nang really had a good time writing this. Some people want to try to figure out the meaning of everything, but it seems to me after watching them speak about writing this film that they just wanted to make a pretty cool script with some scary stuff in it. One rule they gave themselves when writing this script is that they wanted to create something that was scary but never moved, i.e. Jane Doe. When they were doing research on morgues, they came across the story of the bell being tied to the toe to make sure that the corpse was actually dead. They decided that they needed that story in the film and needed to incorporate the bell somehow, whatever way that they could. And I'm okay with stories not having deep meanings. Not everything has to mean something. I can appreciate things at face value. Not everything needs to be dissected. Stephen King really enjoyed this film and tweeted out that it was comparable to Alien and early Cronenberg. He also said, "Watch it, but not alone." The film premiered at the International Toronto Film Festival in 2016 and was released December 21st. Olwen, the woman who played Jane Doe, was the first person that Andre interviewed for the position. He interviewed many more actors after that, but he knew that she was going to be the one. Her yoga knowledge is what helped her with her breathing and controlling her body. She even spent 8 hours lying on an autopsy table alone to prepare for the role. Martin Sheen was actually Andre's first choice for the role of Tommy, but they had some scheduling conflicts. But Brian Cox does a really good job. Tommy and Austin really sell their father-son relationship. This was a low-budget film and it took place mostly inside of this morgue. The cinematography does a great job creating this eerie tone within this one location. A morgue and crematorium is already a creepy place as it is, and so when you have these long shots going through these hallways and dark places in a place like this, it's just building up tension for the second half of the film. We're getting a lay of the land and discovering its quirks and darkest places. The building is old, and I already don't trust the elevator from the start. And there's this latch door that you have to use in order to get out that's similar to a cellar door instead of just a regular door. A little creepy for a morgue door. And as soon as I saw that bubble mirror, I knew we were going to see something that the father and son didn't want to see. And there were a few more moments like that where you saw something happen and you knew that that was going to play later down the road. But they weren't too bad or annoying. The one that I didn't like though was the one that involved the cat. I felt like the cat scene could have just been taken out completely, and I am not one to cry during any type of horror film, but when the cat scene happened, I definitely welled up. I didn't like it. Alright, so here comes some bigger spoilers if you want to save the rest of this video. I'm going to be getting more into the ending now. I really don't like jump scares, and they use a few of them at the start of the film, and they really didn't need to. There was enough emotion and tension growing that they didn't have to use that. I'm okay with jump scares if something does happen that exact moment, or if the person or thing causing the jump scare is doing something very soon after. For instance, when Austin's girlfriend scares him, to me that was just more annoying than anything. They likely did that to set up her coming back at the end when the son and father are hallucinating, thinking that the zombies are walking around the morgue trying to kill them. So to protect themselves, the father gets an axe and kills the zombie, but it turns out that it was Austin's girlfriend. But to me, that would have been just as scary without the jump scare from the beginning of the film. And real quick, y'all, I want to give a shout out to a couple of YouTube creators who I think are amazing and who have shown me so much support. If you like my channel, I guarantee you're gonna like one of their channels. First up is the Poltergeist. They were one of my very first supporters, and their channel is super fun. They do deep dives into different horror films, and they make you laugh while they do it. They also have a rotating guest list of some pretty cool people. Next up is Puck's Imaginary Planet. Puck is very fun and creative in her storytelling, and I'm always interested to see what she has on her mind that day. And we also have Kat Cromier. You'll like Kat's witchy vibes and her talks about paranormal experiences. She also has a podcast called The Ghost Girl Diaries. And even if these folks didn't show me support, I would still subscribe to their channel. So please check them out and let them know that I sent you. I'll leave their YouTube links in the comment section. Alright, jumping back in, I really like the pacing of this film. Even though Jane Doe doesn't get to the morgue until about 15 minutes in, we're thrown blood and guts and mystery. This is a good film for my fellow true crime lovers. This was sort of a mystery turned paranormal. So I'm sure if you've seen this, you notice that at the end, the son and father were hallucinating a lot of the things that were happening to them. They were experiencing something called filet deux, which is when two people are having a shared psychosis or shared delusion. This is something that I mentioned in my second film review of Bug. The two leads in that film are suffering from the same thing. I'll go ahead and leave a link for that review up above. As soon as Tommy attempts to put the scalpel to Jane's skin, the radio turns on to some church music, some creepy church music. As soon as that song comes on, they are basically under the spell of Jane Doe. Everything after this point is a hallucination, even when Tommy cuts into her skin and the blood comes out. The only things that are not hallucinations are their own actions. And this is proved by the end scene. Austin has no blood all over him from the death of his girlfriend. The shattered glass from earlier is no longer on the floor of the morgue. And Jane is found with still not a cut on her. Through their search and discovery, Tommy and Austin find that Jane's body was mutilated and tortured as they did back in the Salem witch trials. They discovered that her ankles and ribs were broken, her tooth had been pulled out, the inside of her skin had tattoos, her lungs were blackened and burned, and she was forced to swallow a piece of cloth with some writing on it. After Tommy and Austin think they know what's going on, Tommy makes a deal with Jane in order to save Austin. He offers to take all the pain from her just to let his son live. Jane accepts this offer and transfers all the perceived pain to Tommy. We then see the transfer to Tommy, and his ankles and wrists break, and we see him writhing in pain. But after learning everything, we now know that this was just perceived. So when Tommy is asking Austin to kill him because of all the pain he's feeling, it's for nothing because it's still a hallucination. As soon as we get to the morgue for the first time, I am immediately reminded of the film Afterlife with Christina Ricci, Liam Neeson, Jason and Justin Long. This is one of my all-time favorite films, and if you like The Autopsy of Jane Doe, you're going to love this film. I will probably be doing a review on Afterlife very soon. Overall, The Autopsy of Jane Doe gets 4 rainbow skulls out of 5 from me. It's a cool and different kind of mystery film with some good horror moments. Well, thank you again for watching, everyone. I truly appreciate you being here. Also, I have just launched my Patreon, and if you'd like to become a part of my spooky community, go ahead and pick a subscription and we'll see you every month. Join us on Discord and monthly movie night. And I hope I see y'all tomorrow. I have another spooky story narration for you. And if you want to join the Rainbow Fright Freight Train, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. That way you'll get notified every Thursday and Friday when I post more videos like this. All right, y'all. Peace.